Hey folks, I'm the Mysterious JG, and yes, it is happening. No, this is not the 5,000 subscriber special I promised probably years ago at this point. This is the Romance of the Three Kingdoms 13 Fame and Strategy Expansion Pack Bundle Let's Play to reward the people who donated to Zerfall's, I guess it was 2017 charity stream now. So this is it's not technically overdue, because when telling people I was going to do another Let's Play Romance of Three Kingdoms 13 and asking people to donate money to Zerfall's charity drive to fight MS in Canada, I was pretty clear about the fact that I wasn't making any promise on when it was going to happen. But I anticipated it would happen before the 2018 charity drive. Well, I was getting up on that point where if I didn't make it happen soon, I probably wasn't even going to beat the 2018 charity drive. So it's finally ready. It's finally time for this to begin. So here's the deal, folks. I've been spending probably hours at this point going through making characters, making adjustments, and we're going to very quickly run through who's in the LP. I'm going to record a couple of videos now, so if you missed it, it's too late. But if you're sure that you donated and that you let me know you donated and you created a character and you let me know you created a character and I somehow missed you, you can still let me know in the comments. All I can do at this point is apologize and offer to throw you into the next RTK or Nobunaga's Ambition Let's Play. But for now, let's actually see what heroes made the cut. Well, for one thing, I made historical edit, which will make sense shortly. And somebody, I can't remember who it was, in the comments pointed out that you could do this. Thank you to them. I was thinking we would have Zerfall take over a force, and that is what we're going to do. But I wasn't allowed to just edit a force. I could make a brand new force, but I would have to pick some shit cities that no force was already using. Instead, I took Shiji, and I edited his... Poor Shiji. He's a historical figure. He's been dead a long time, and I don't think this is going to bother him. But in our world, I shortened his life significantly, and I made Zerfall his son, so that when he dies, Zerfall will take over his force. And I had to tweak Zerfall's birth dates to make sure that Zerfall didn't end up being one of the younger brothers, because that was an issue too. But we're going to go through the characters real quick. It broke my heart. What we're going to do first is go through the Hall of Shame. These are the people, the created characters from the last LP, where the people who created them didn't donate and therefore didn't get to come back. But I didn't have the heart to delete the characters, so I added a Z to the front of their name so that they'd be at the bottom of the list and I could spot them. There are one or two little exceptions here. We'll see Shaman C is in here. The guy behind the Shaman C character did donate. He just created a new character. So Shaman C's showing up in the Hall of Shame, but it's in fact still a perfectly good guy. But Clark Griswold, Klein Calvin, Q Little, Galran, Jams Jim, Jen Burke, Jiang Jian, Kira Chang. That one hurt because, well, I'll explain later. I was doing some off-screening where I just dumped all of the created characters into Shiji's territory because I was trying to make sure that Zerfall would take over the force, but I hadn't made all the characters yet. And some characters like Kira Chang really acquitted themselves well. Ling Lu, Lord Adam, Manly McBeefington. That was another one. I'm very sad. When I realized Manly McBeefington and his awesome avatar wasn't going to be coming back, I felt very bad. Also, for any new created characters, I created the new characters before going through and figuring out which previously existing created characters were not in. So if you created a new character and you donated and you chose Manly McBeefington's portrait, I made you go with your second choice. And Manly McBeefington retains his face. Even though 2020 hindsight, I should have given a new character the choice and have booted Manly McBeefington. Mr. P, One Shogun, Ping Gao, Ricky J, Ren Satori, that's another one. Some of the female characters, Roy Shi, I was just kind of enjoyed the idea of these ladies going around and being all influential and important in ancient China, so it's really sad to see some of them go too. All of the Suns, for some reason, I don't know why the Sun family was so popular amongst the people who wanted a character but didn't donate, but somehow they were. The Zax, Uncle Draki, Wang Long, Yang Xiao, Yuan Jiba, and the City Medius. He's another one who was a big player in the couple of years worth of gameplay I did to make sure Zerf would take over the Force. Zadius Austin, Jamancy, Zhaoxi, who actually I didn't have to add a Z to his name, he already had one, but he didn't donate, so he's also out. Dragon Demon, and Big Cheese. Big Cheese, yeah. So that's the Hall of Shame. Those are the people who, unless I screwed up and missed something, and you did donate, and I didn't realize that it was you, these are the people who won the lethal lottery when it was just down to chance whether or not you got in my previous Let's Play. But they didn't donate anything to Zerf's charity stream, so they're not in. But the characters are still there, so if I ever do another run of the game, I guess these people have a chance to come back. But now let's quickly go through the people who are in. And I'll reveal a couple of things here. I, to the extent possible, gave everybody what they asked for, except for a couple of things. If you asked to work for a specific city or force, as I mentioned in my setup video for this one, pretty much I'm just going to dump all the created characters in the starting force, and that's what we're going to do. So, other than like one guy, I think, asked to start in near the non-man territories, which is they're kind of getting their wish there because of where we're going to start. Otherwise, everyone's going to be working for Zerfall's Empire. And everybody has the same start year. If you're like role-playing as somebody who's older, as I know at least one or two people, I think Mijun specifically is like role-playing as an older guy. Just pretend your birth date is a typo and that you're as old as you feel like being. You're only as old as you feel, folks. So if you feel like being older, go ahead and do that. But I gave everybody the same birth year, so we would all start out at 15 at the start of the scenario to maximize the time everybody had in-game. If you asked for a shorter lifespan than the 100 years that created characters tend to get, I did give you a shorter lifespan. But pretty much everyone's going to start out at age 15 at the beginning of the scenario. Exception is Falger. He has to be older because otherwise when Shiji kicks off, Falger won't inherit. One of Shiji's other sons will. So Falger's about 30 years old as opposed to 15. Wait, that doesn't make sense. Yeah, no, he's about 30. And then I went ahead and did the same thing with Faljaxers. I made her 30 because otherwise Falger is married to somebody who's half his age. And it's just like a pervy old man. And with that mustache, he's already pervy enough. The only other person whose age doesn't match everyone else is Vulture Hazel, who had to be young enough to be the daughter of Vulture Bean and Vulture Bobo. Although, much like the last playthrough, I'm not really expecting the game to go long enough for Vulture Hazel to even show up that much. So she'll be probably, I don't know that it'll get mentioned in the game, but she'll probably get born very early in the playthrough. But by the time she's old enough to appear as an officer, there's a good chance we'll have conquered China. I don't know, probably not. So anyway, our cast of heroes, which I'll go through very quickly, and I'm not going to show everybody's individual stats. I suppose I could, but we'll probably see them throughout the course of the game. I try to give everybody what they asked for, so if at some point your screen comes up and I linger on it long enough, you deposit, look at your stats, and you notice, I got normal greed, but I wanted a different greed. Like, I got bravery honor, but I wanted bravery revere. I'm going to just suggest you kind of relax and let it go. Particularly the ideal prestiges, because I'm not sure if they do anything when you're not the player character. I'm just not sure. But anyway, All Dragon, Chris Maverick, Earl King, Faljaxers and Falger. Fang Xiao is making her triumphant return. Fat John is back. I was very happy to see that. Fat John was kind of a fun character. It's sort of a rival to the mysterious JG. New character, Hongo Kazuto. JG Mystery is back, and I'll be playing as him. JG Mystery I changed slightly, I'll let you know. Changed I didn't have an ideal prestige, because the last time that wasn't there, so I've set my ideal prestige for Prime Minister, which is kind of the most benevolent path that you can take if you're going through the civil service tract. I thought about changing my even more min-maxing, taking my war down to 1 and pouring a few more points into Gov, but I didn't. I changed my expertise to impartiality because the spy mission things wasn't happening that often, and early in the game with a bunch of created officers in one force, we might have difficulty paying all the officers early. Having the impartiality skill will improve their loyalty, make it less likely that a bunch of people defect while we're still trying to build up the commerce. And I used the strategy advance command, which I think is the one Guanping had that was so broken. I don't think JG Mystery will be in combat that often. And I know it's a little cheesy, but I kind of wanted to have a pretty powerful strategy. Because if I am going to be leading troops in battle, I'd kind of like to win. But that's all we changed with JG Mystery. But anyway, we have Calda Kaedia's back. Lady SKS, this is an interesting one. SKS. So it was pretty clear in my first Call to Heroes video, like a year or two ago, that incomplete submissions will be rejected without consideration. If you tell me, I want to be a warrior, go ahead and give me whatever stats you think fit that. I didn't accept the submission like that. I was like, no, too many people are filling out a full submission, and not all of them are going to get in, so I'm not going to deal with the incomplete submission. But then for this one, I said you get in if you donate $25 to the charity drive. And I didn't really go over the rules of, like, but you have to submit a character for reals. So SKS, now there's other people, Grimmeth, Lethal, they donated for the charity stream, but they didn't do it to be in this Let's Play, and they never showed up in the comment section of the video saying, hey, I want to have a character, thanks, man. So Lethal and Grimmeth are not in. Like, you know, nothing personal. They didn't apply to be in, so they're not in. But it's pretty sweet and cool that they donated the charity drive. And everybody who donated the charity drive is cool, whether or not they have anything to do with this LP. But SKS was a weird case because he donated the charity drive. It's highly unlikely he did that because of my Let's Play. But he did pop up in the comment section and say, I'm looking forward to seeing what you do with creating a character for me. Make them... what was the phrase he used? He said specifically, like, make me fabulous. So I went ahead and used auto-generate female officer, and then this is what we got. So ability-wise, pretty crappy. Patrol 2, Weapons 1. Although I think the parameters I gave people for creating characters were overpowered anyway. Stats-wise, actually, came out pretty good. Somehow, Lady SKS doesn't have an expertise, but she does have an ideal prestige. So, yeah. Anyway, there you go, SKS. I hope you consider this random poll the computer made fabulous. And then we have Liang Liang, who is actually the created character that I played as a little bit off screen for whatever reason. When that's the character I just grabbed while trying to get... play enough years to see if Zerf would inherit the Force, and I had a lot of fun with Liang Liang, so I'm looking forward to seeing Liang Liang in action as a computer character. Lita's grandma, famous, of course, for her pie, because, yes, that's a woman. Has to be, even though the gender says male. Liu Daiyu's back. Happy to see that. Lizard Lord is back. Lizard Lord, loyal retainer of the Ma clan in the last LP, so this time it'll be fun to actually... He'll have a lot more chance to shine. He didn't really appear very much until the end of that LP when he was on the losing end of the final battle of Lu Bu taking over China. Lue Duo Wuya is back. Maxwell Dammit is back. Mi Jun is back. Mr. Schultz is back. Night Demon, who, for some reason I had in my head Night Demon was part of the last LP. Night Demon was not. I think I'm thinking back to Nobunaga's Ambition. And then, of course, we have a new character whose name is Omamori. O memory, wie treu sind deine Blätter. So that's fun. Panzertoll is back, unless Panzertoll is new. Several of these characters are back with tweaked stats. Pudro Solius is a new character. Kara Katai, name I'm probably pronouncing wrong. Rabbit Ashley. Now, there's always, anytime I do these created characters, there's always one or two where I'm like, I don't think that was exactly what they wanted. Like, there was some goof, somebody miscounted rows and columns when picking a portrait. Somebody just put a typo in their submission, and I took it as is. But this is what I thought this particular YouTube user requested. This YouTube user's name suggests they really were a female and not a male, role-playing as a female. So I hope you're okay with the fact that Rabbit Ashley, who has a normal woman's voice and is a woman with the alluring beauty prestige, has a beard and a mustache. who am I to judge? You know, I'm not going to make it my business to poke into what Rabbit Ashley's biological gender is. If Rabbit Ashley chooses to identify as female, I'm fine with that. Serena C is back, replacing Shaman C, which, well, like I mentioned, is why Shaman C is not really in the Hall of Shame. Sirius II. I don't know about this one, man. This is like an unauthorized Mr. Sirius sequel. But Mr. Sirius was a fun character from prior RTK LPs. The YouTube user who created the Mr. Sirius character in the first place is, unless I'm missing something, I believe they've kind of drifted away from my channel in the interim, but it was a weird character. They got a random role. They came out with very low stats, and I kind of took them on as like a mascot in the RTK10 LP, and I thought it was fun to try and get this character to accomplish things like taking gates that were not defended by any troops, that sort of thing. So this character is a spiritual successor in the sense that the intelligence is 1, though these stats don't make any sense. How can you have a leadership ability and governance of 100 and an intelligence of 1? Like, war is really maybe leadership, but pretty much war is the only thing that you could have at 100 if your intelligence is 1. There's no way your governance skill. It just doesn't make a lot of sense. But at any rate, the original Mr. Sirius, I always thought was a fun character, but eventually, in the comments of while trying to create a new Mr. Sirius for another LP, the original Mr. Sirius said, was joking around about what a goofy, crazy character they were. Kind of implied, I think in the comments, that they were a weird loner that was dirty and possibly into underage girls, and that was a direction I didn't want Mr. Sirius to go in. I just wanted to be a lovable dumb guy. But anyway, Mr. Sirius II here, we'll see how he does. The YouTube user here, I didn't bother to write down any YouTube usernames. Wait, no, I can pull it up. Although we probably want to get going with the LP at some point. Yeah, Mattias Grav. I appreciate this. Mattias Grav in the comments was like, here's my character, Sirius II. I think this will be fun. If the actual guy who came up with the original Mr. Sirius wants to do a character, I withdraw Sirius II. So it's like, Mattias Grav does recognize that this is an unauthorized Mr. Sirius. Oh, and by the way, yeah, I'm guessing the city Mattias was Mattias Grav's character last time. Yeah, he was kicking ass in my off-screening, so it's kind of ironic that he's going to disappear now after having kicked so much ass off-screen to be replaced by Mr. Sirius 2. We got Storm Andrew. Tedestro is back. New character Velen Ukolis. Vulture Bean and Vulture Bobo are here with their daughter Vulture Hazel. Wenbu Zu Callan, who's Callan Lancaster's character. It's crazy in my mind that Callan Lancaster didn't have a character before, but he didn't. And Yan Sammy. That's our new cast of Motley Heroes. Well, I've been at this 18 minutes without getting started, and a little part of me is like, well, call it a video and give people a week to reply in the comments and let me know about something I missed. But no, I've put a bunch of time into getting ready for this. I really need to get this thing rolling. So what we're going to do is we are going to start the anti-Dongzhuo coalition. The Yellow Turban Rebellion has rocked the Han court and ended with the death of Zhang Xiao. However, the chaos continued. Eunuchs and officials fought for power. Ajin was murdered. The purge of the eunuchs by Yuan Shao and other lords. The purge of the eunuchs by Yuan Shao and other lords. What the hell kind of sentence is that? It was during all this that Dongzhuo gained control of the Emperor Shao. He forced the emperor to abdicate his throne, setting another in his place. This arrogance turned the other lords against him. So we're going to allow original officers to appear. We are going to sort so that the Z's are at the bottom. And I have to manually grab people so that the Z Senshi don't get pulled into this game. In fact, this might work out better than when I did things off-screen, because off-screen I felt like I had so many creative characters in a force that only has 3 cities to begin with that they were a huge drain on gold. At the same time, I was able to expand awfully quickly, and we might have to slow up a little bit when we don't have 60 high-powered created officers. I'm, famous last words, but I'm actually anticipating this being a fairly easy run. Oh, these are Oh, I see. These guys here aren't my created characters. They're the... They're the ones that you unlock by winning the game. I guess I'll throw them in there. I just need to keep an eye out and see if there's anybody else down here who isn't a... like a Z character who is not... Yeah, like Zhang Liang could go in there. Zhang Yi could go in there, because he's not really a created character. He was a character who is programmed in the game, but you unlock by winning certain scenarios. Anyway, here's all our characters. So we'll confirm. We'll position original officers. So I can grab... Let's see, JG Mysteries. A couple of people I want to have in the same place at the beginning. Not to be nasty, but JG and like my immediate family and Falger and the Fall clan, who are kind of the leaders of this Let's Play overall, I'm going to grab together and put in... Let's see. What is the actual capital city? Shiji. I think this is the... I think the capital's actually over here, but I'm going to start us here. So... Anybody who's not already positioned. 1, 2, 3. 4, 5, 6, 7. Let's grab you guys and throw 7 of you here. Try to even it out as much as we can. Eight, 9, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I don't know why I picked 7 precisely, but I'm trying to split them up because otherwise they'll just like completely break the economies of these cities. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Can all be in the middle with me and Zerf and the gang. How many have we got left? Seems like we got a ton left. Well, there's some guys who we're not going to position. I'm not going to position any of these guys who aren't our created characters. I'll let them be randomly placed. And I think... It looks like they helped us out a little bit and are actually arranging it in sequence where the guys we didn't create start. I don't think we created... oh, you know what? Easy peasy. Anybody who's 15 is one of ours. 2, 3, 4, 5... And if I order by age, you can just grab anybody who's 15 who isn't already in a force and put them in that last city. Did they say over 15 years of age? Did I screw this up? Did they all need to be 16 and not 15? That would be annoying. But I think everybody who's not already in a force is one of these characters who isn't really created by us. You and me, the viewers at home, you know what I mean? And apologies if there's anybody I forgot to place, but I think think this will do it. I just want to make sure that we're actually in the force. Because it's no longer even asking if I want to place people in the force. Yeah, it says positioned 1 of 1, positioned 35 of 73. Did I mess this up by making everyone 15 instead of 16? No, I can play as JG Mystery. Well, we'll probably just get through the opening scenario or scenes anyway. I can just check and make sure everybody made it. Officer growth, yes. We'll go on standard difficulty. A lot of the stuff I learned about in the tutorials for Heroes and Legends expansion pack I've forgotten. So it's like tactics in battle and formations. I don't really remember how they work. So be prepared in the comments section to explain to me a bunch of stuff I should already know, because I'm pretty much going to play this like the original version. And we should be off to the races. Let's do this thing. So 15-year-old JG Mystery, he's an official who wants to become Prime Minister of the Kingdom of Zerftopia. Let's make his dream come true. Looks like the Muppet Babies. JG Mystery, their talent for schemes and strategy led to both military and political victories. He's going to build the Great Wall, and he's going to get the Mongols to pay for it. That's a political victory. We will not skip the scenario opening, though. After the Yellow Turban Rebellion was suppressed, He Jin, who supported Emperor Shao, gained absolute power and squared off against the 10 eunuchs. Amidst the intensifying struggle, He Jin was assassinated by the eunuchs. However, Yuan Shao led the remains of He Jin's troops in a purge of the eunuchs, chasing the remnants out of Luoyang. Having lost all leadership, Luoyang was left in chaos. Thoughts and chaos. Until one man gained control of Emperor Shao, using mind control power and hypnosis. The name of that man was Dong Zhuo. Welcome to the Dong Zhuo. Accompanied by his powerful bodyguard Lu Bu, Dong Zhuo went unchallenged in the imperial court, and his tyrannical rule caused much suffering. By the way, Liu Duhua, like one of the female characters who has this really like just kind of gentle and pleasant face and smiling and whatever. Before I went in and edited it to what the person who created that character asked for, the computer like automated assigned them the unique ideal of tyrant, which struck me. There were a lot of other fun ones too. Like one of the female characters was by the computer assigned the goal prestige of, you know, flawless beard or something like that. And there was at least one male character who was alluring beauty. Which, you know, men can be beautiful. His arrogance having no bound, Dong Zhuo ousted Emperor Shao and replaced him with his brother, Emperor Jiang. He didn't kill him. I think he sent him off to be Prince of Chen-Li or some crap. And I guess that's what they do to that's what happened to this guy later. The frustration of many warlords mounted as Dong Zhuo's oppressive rule escalated. And this is one of those things that's interesting about Chinese culture, particularly ancient Chinese culture. The novel Romance of Three Kingdoms describes Dong Zhuo's men going into just peasant villages, killing all the men, and then taking the women to be sex slaves, but hanging the decapitated heads of the men off the side of their carts so they could ride back in the city and claim that these were bandits they had suppressed. So that was one of his crimes. And the book describes that as a crime. We're not meant to like Dong Zhuo. But the book also talks about him walking with a sword in the imperial palace, rather than shuffling around on his knees in obedience, as was appropriate. And you get the distinct impression that of the two crimes of butchering lots of peasants and walking around instead of shuffling on his knees in the imperial palace, that the author of the book thinks that the more serious crime was going around being douchey in the palace, not so much murdering lots of people. But anyway, Dong Zhuo definitely a jerk. And one of these days, like if I just retire and just do nothing but play these games all day and have nothing else to do with my time, one of the things I would do is eventually play as a Dong Zhuo scenario and try to win with him. Disagreeing with his ways, the powerful Yuan Shao and Yuan Shu left the capital, while Cao Cao and Sun Jin raised armies of their own. The campaign against Dong Zhuo brought new flames to the plains of Zhangyuan. And then big close-ups of a bunch of cool dudes. Shiji's army council was held at Jiaoji. Allow me to report on the results. The council has determined that Shiji's army's assignment is city assault. Holy crap. I've never seen him start this aggressive before. I mean, in my off-screening, I had to really kick and scream to get him to attack cities. What's going to happen now? This might be because we have so many officers, and I actually spread them out a little better. What's going to happen is, and what I did off-screen, is I needed to quickly forge alliances with Liu Biao and Liu Yan, I think is his name. That's Liu Zhang's father. Because we won't have enough troops to fight both of them off at the same time. Probably wouldn't have enough troops to fight Liu Zhang off, or Liu Yan off anyway. But what you need to do is, because if you take cities that ultimately they would, in the natural course of a game, expand to control, they will attack you. Liu Zhang's not very aggressive, but if you take one of the cities that was traditionally part of his little zone, he will attack you. Liu Biao will actively try to take over China. Liu Zhang will just turtle. But if you take a city, you don't have to take it from him. You can take a city before he takes it that starts neutral. But if it's one of the cities that his AI normally takes, he will attack you, and he's got pretty powerful armies. So if we do this, I feel like we're actually going to be agitating a lot of people all at once. So we will see. In my off-screening, I got... I played longer than I intended to because I got into it. I spent a couple of hours and then just felt bad because I didn't get any recording done. But I actually managed, as Shiji's forces, to take out the Sun clan entirely by basically fighting off Liu Zhang and Liu Biao through a combination of just defense and alliances until I had gobbled up a couple cities from them each, and then going to war with the Sun clan, and because the Sun clan was aggressive and they wore themselves out. It was interesting, to say the least. I was not expecting to beat the Sun clan before beating any of the lesser opponents. Hepu's council was held at Jiaoji. Allow me to report on the results. The council has determined that Hepu's assignment is city assault. So we are supposed to take Ling Ling. We better put that ring on that Ling Ling. Shiji sends word to appoint Zhao Yang into our army. How should we respond? Won't be a problem for me. Order's been issued. So fulfilling this order becomes your first goal. Yeah, we know about this. But what we can do is just kind of confirm before we call it a video. I was worried about it with the 15-year-olds and that text that you had to be over 15. But it looks like it was just slightly misstated. And what I figured when I made everyone 15 was that was the age at which you could join a force. So we've actually got, as far as officer counts go, we have the most officers of anybody. So I'm going to say it right here, right now. Again, famous last words. I could very easily screw this up, but I'm anticipating this will be an easier run than playing as Lu Bu's force. But this is for charity. I thought it would be fun to do another playthrough of this game. I didn't necessarily need this to be the most challenging playthrough possible. So we're a little bit overpowered. We're starting with 3 cities, not the biggest force in China, but actually in this game, we are starting with more cities than most. It is pretty much inevitable that by the end of the game we'll be facing Cao Cao. because he's going to expand really quickly in the north, but there's not that many other forces. Like, this should be a fairly easy game, but I'm hoping it'll be fun to watch anyway, and that people will enjoy getting to watch their avatars in-game doing stuff. All that being said, I'm calling it a video now, and when we come back, my first mission as JG Mystery is to hire a new officer. But our greater force goal is apparently, I'm a little surprised by this, Shiji is being super aggressive this time, so we'll see how that goes. One way that you can screw yourself over in this game is expanding too quickly. Although generally that's not quite as bad as expanding too slowly, which generally means a slow death. I'm Mysterious JG, thanks for watching. Catch you guys next time. Bye-bye.